An unfamiliar car, a vacationing neighbor. It has all the telltale signs of crime waiting to happen. Is there anything you can do to help prevent the burglary? Absolutely. The San Mateo County Sheriff's Office has a number of programs that teach residents how to be on the lookout for trouble and prevent it before it happens. Here to tell us more about these programs and how residents can learn more from law enforcement is Sergeant Hector Acosta of the San Mateo County Sheriff's Office. Hector, thanks for being here with us today.
It's my pleasure.
So if someone is concerned about whether or not their home or business needs to be protected by cameras or other measures, will the Sheriff's Office come out and take a look at their residence or their business?
Absolutely. That's one of our functions at the Community Policing Unit. I can send out one of our deputies to examine your home or your business and kind of go through with you some measures that are deterrents. Mm-hmm. It's all about deterring crime, whether it's adding signage, cutting shrubbery, lighting, checking all your doors and locks, make sure they're working properly, and basically, just anything that we can suggest to you to deter someone from choosing your home or business to burglarize.
So some of those things, could it have to do with maybe locks on doors, maybe shrubbery, maybe lighting, things like that?
Yeah, all those things are very important. One thing that we recommend is burglary alarms as well. Those are very helpful. When a burglar is looking for a residence to burglarize, they're going to hopefully avoid your home if they see cameras, if they see signs that you have an alarm. What we recommend is, if you do have cameras, which that would be one of our recommendations, is you put them out where they can easily be seen from the street. Mm-hmm. So people know, hey, that's not a house we want to break into because they have an alarm, they have cameras. Some people think it's smart to hide your cameras in obscure places in some bushes or something. You don't want that. You want them out there so they see it. So mm-hmm. It's all about deterring and preventing the crime from happening.
Good. And so you mentioned the cameras, and is there anything else about the cameras, any other tips possibly about the security cameras? I noticed our discussion earlier, you mentioned it should be at that face level where you're capturing the person's face rather than the top of their head in the high location.
Yes, that's a very common mistake that people make, is mm-hmm. they set their cameras up at a high position looking down. So mm-hmm. if a crime does occur, very oftentimes we see the tops of bad guys or girls' heads, or they're wearing a ball cap, you can't see their face. Mm-hmm. You want to have your cameras down low to capture a face, capture a vehicle, capture a license plate, but bring those cameras down, make them highly visible and a position of advantage where we could benefit from any footage that is captured from mm-hmm. your camera. Like, again, if it's up high, it doesn't do us any good.
All right. Police, law enforcement, sheriff, they can't do it, we can't do it all on our own. We need the help of the community, really.
That's correct. There is no 100% safeguard measure to stop crime, but mm-hmm. if you can do your part to deter or prevent it, that's what it's all about. Another thing that we like to offer is neighborhood watch programs. We like to get those started in neighborhoods, get the community involved, to work in tandem with with law enforcement to prevent crime.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned neighborhood watch. And maybe you can get into Neighborhood Watch and maybe get into some of those programs that you think are effective for neighborhoods.
Well, like I said, that's a great program that we offer. If neighborhoods they're experiencing, even if they're not experiencing crime, but if they want to just have that level of security, it's a great security blanket for the neighborhood to get the neighborhood involved. Doesn't necessarily have to be a result of a crime. Some people say, well, there's crime happening here, let's start a neighborhood watch. You can start a neighborhood watch at any point to prevent crime. Mm-hmm. What we'll do is we'll come out, if you can get about 10 neighbors is what we like to start with, who are willing to participate in the program. We'll send a community policing deputy out to your first meeting and get you going. What they'll do is they'll get what they call a block captain. The neighbors mm-hmm. will nominate this person, and they'll kind of be the lead person in the group, and it's a lot of education and awareness, and it's a mindset that the neighbors are taught. It's keep a watchful eye out for suspicious persons or suspicious vehicles, and things are out of the ordinary, mm-hmm. because we can't be at all places at all times. Mm-hmm. But if you are there in the neighborhood, keeping an eye on the neighborhood, it's a benefit. It's a win for the neighborhood, and it's a win for us.
Right. And do you have any examples of how this program has helped catch, criminals?
It has. Again, getting people to have that mindset of being vigilant and aware. People who have started programs have called in suspicious vehicles parked in their neighborhood, with somebody sitting in it, and it turns out that person was a lookout, and it's happened several times where we get there and we've interrupted a burglary, or they're getting ready to burglarize a home, but we've caught persons because of Neighborhood Watch who've already committed burglaries in other areas, and they came into this neighborhood. Well, they chose the wrong neighborhood because it was a Neighborhood Watch. They called it in, and we were able to catch them.
So it sounds like really the best deterrent is an educated community that really knows the community better than any police personnel that might be patrolling it.
Exactly. You know who your neighbors are. You know who may be loitering or looking to burglarize a house or commit a crime. I mean, we're not looking for just somebody walking down your street. That's not suspicious. But somebody who's kind of just hanging out, or a car keeps circling the block. I mean, that's signs of somebody casing your neighborhood. Those are the kind of things that we want to be called about. And when you have a Neighborhood Watch in place, that's what the neighbors are looking for, and that's when they call us, and we're able to oftentimes deter crime.
And I imagine too, when a group gets together like that, neighbors get together, because it appears now that that both possibly members of the family, adult members, are working. There's nobody in the neighborhood, but there's generally maybe somebody who's there and aware, and they can communicate with each other. Maybe when somebody goes on vacation, they can watch out for each other.
Absolutely. When people do go on vacation, they can log on to our website at smcsheriff.com, and we could do home checks. But that's not 24/7. If you know your neighbor and you guys are on the same page with the Neighborhood Watch program, they're going to watch that house like it's their own, and they're going to know who's coming and going. And that's what you want. You want the connection with the neighbors, and you want all the neighbors to be on the same page. Just be vigilant and be aware.
Neighbors watching out for other neighbors.
Exactly. That's
Right.
the goal.
Now, that's a critical program, I think. And can you tell us again, our viewers, how one could start a program like that?
So if you're interested in starting your Neighborhood Watch program, you can email me, hacosta at smc for San Mateo County, gov.org. Again, hacosta at smc.gov.org. I will send out a community policing deputy to your residence and get the ball rolling.
Great. Another critical point that you had mentioned is creating that some kind of a relationship, the sheriff's department with the community, and it appears that in the long run, the best approach to combating crime is building that strong relationship with our community and our young people. So how is the sheriff's department doing this?
The sheriff's office is huge on community involvement, community engagement. The Neighborhood Watch is just one of many programs that we offer. We are very, very involved in all communities we serve. We are involved in all the schools we serve. We have our SAL, Sheriff's Activities League program, where we work with the youth in a number of programs, not just in sports, mentorship programs, because as you said, another deterrent is to get involved in the lives of the youth at this young age, to deter them from taking the wrong path of maybe gangs and drugs. And you want to keep them focused in school and keep them busy. And the sheriff's office is really, really big on community engagement and community involvement.
Would you call this community policing?
Yes, that's the name of the unit I work for. We currently have 8 sworn sheriff's personnel assigned to this unit, not including our civilian staff, but that's how important it is to the sheriff's office. If we have 8 people working on a shift strictly for community policing, that's more than a lot of agencies on the peninsula have to patrol your streets. I mean, that's just for community engagement, school involvement. So it's something that is a huge priority for Sheriff Bolanos.
And it sure seems like with police under public scrutiny, even more so these days with public social media and video cameras, etc., that these programs are pretty important.
They are. The community policing unit at the sheriff's office has been around longer than I've been at the office. I've been there, going on 20 years, and it was there long before I got there. But you're correct. In recent times, law enforcement has been put into a negative light by the media. So I think it is very important to interact law enforcement and the kids and the community and humanize us. You know, we're here to help. We're here to serve. We're not here to target people or to make life difficult for people. We're here to help and serve, and we want people to know that we're here for them.
Great. Well, Sergeant Hector Acosta, it's been a pleasure having you here today and giving this very vital information. And so, a takeaway from today, it seems so critical that we as a community understand that we have just as much responsibility in policing our communities as the police do. And also that working collaboratively with the Sheriff's Department and with our police organization is so important. And it's so important that we create a trust between each other so that we can accomplish this goal of preventing crime before it happens. So, thanks again, Sergeant Acosta, for being here. And from Take Notice, this is Dan Lawson. Have a wonderful day.